Joseph Lowry and Sarah Lowry happened to be there. My wife goes in the bathroom. Sarah comes in, starts harassing my wife. My wife told her to get out of her face. She should have beat her ass. Something better get done around this mother.
Drive. Can he do that? He does that.
Hold on just a minute. Don't start our time, please. I need an officer.
I do not harass children. And for her to say that, the chief of police already knows.
Officer Narvaez is dirty and he needs to go.
Every time I come outside my door, I got to record because I get flipped off and harassed and called names and said, F my mother.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This Marque, Texas City Council meeting took place on October 13th, 2025. Councilman Joseph Lowry knew that a lot of people were going to show up angry and direct their comments towards him. So, like the coward he is, he didn't even bother to show up. The public commenters did not disappoint on this night. Most of them directed their frustration toward the tyrannical police department, the police chief Aragon, and City Councilman Lowry, and even Lowry's wife, Sarah Lowry, who seems to be just as out of control, if not more, than her husband, which I've also documented plenty here on this channel. Anyways, let's jump right into this meeting. But before we do, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and share this video everywhere.
Drive. Can he do that? He does that.
Hold on just a minute. Don't start our time, please. I need an officer. Ms. Ochoa has a question. She is being videotaped
Without my consent.
by a person in the audience. Is that legal or illegal? It's a public place. He has a right to videotape you.
All right, then I'll record
Yes,
it
ma'am.
too.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So my name is
thank you.
Laura. Thank you for answering that. That's what I deal with every day. My name is Laura Ochoa. This is my first time coming here. I live on. My husband's working late. If not, he would have been here. We own two businesses, actually three. I do taxes, notary, and everything else. Husband owns a construction business, and yes, we're insured if anybody needs my services. I'm here because my family and I have been subjected on ongoing harassment from our neighbor, not so neighborly, which has escalated over time, 3 years. He's constantly recording us, even when we're outside with our grandbabies. I don't know if he's a pervert. I don't want to say he is, but you never know. Watching while we're washing our vehicles, cutting the grass, even through my 16-year-old cutting the grass, he even yelled at us, "Go back." And then so because of that behavior, my husband built a fence for privacy. We're on Oak Lawn. That street is really pretty with all the oak trees. So he had to build a fence. He's looking over the fence and recording us and yelling at us and watching everything we do. So my husband built a fence higher where we received a notice from the city, bring it down. Okay, I understand that. From that, we've had to call the cops a lot of times, the police officers a lot of times, but the city inspectors found nothing wrong. They even complimented our yard, our property, to keep up. We attempted to fix the nails that he complained about, little teeny tiny nails. My husband planned this Saturday to have the crew fix it, but I told him nobody's going to go into his property without an officer being present. Officer Garcia was there, witnessed the neighbor, that man yelling, coming out. We were addressing his complaint. Despite that, he escalated aggressively. Then the harassment has gone really bad to where Officer Guzman filed a criminal trespass report against my husband, basically so on his verbal accusation of trespassing without notice, citation, or opportunity to respond. That Officer Guzman had a judge sign a warrant for my husband's arrest on June the 17th, 2025. I'm still waiting for the full report. There was no proper procedure, no notice, citation given to him regarding his accusation. There's no document evident about the supported alleged trespass, no complete report. We were never given an opportunity to respond with a warrant before the warrant was issued. This is a misuse of city police resources that has caused stress, financial loss to our company, our business, business, our lives, disruption to our business. Even after this, Mr. Kontowski continued to provoke us, yelling while recording from his porch. That day, on June the 17th, Officer Stanford confirmed that the warrant was removed after speaking with the chief of police. I've even talked to this man, tried to tell him to come to church. Something's hurting him. And now he just quotes verses of the Bible and condemning people online. Even to my husband last month, while my husband was walking the dog, he's yelling at him, "You're going to go to hell." That's the thing. I do have some kind of PTSD from this repeated false reporting and threats that he keeps making to my family. I feel really unsafe. I respectfully ask the city to review the situation to ensure that the residents, even my neighbors, have witnessed this ongoing harassment. So I asked if something can be done. I don't know. I was just told to come here. I don't know if this will make a difference, but this is what I've been dealing with.
Yes, ma'am. So you have 3 minutes. This is citizens participation, citizens request for hearing. The council cannot respond to you.
Okay,
We can hear you, and we're all taking notes.
okay.
The city manager is the CEO of our city,
Nice to meet you.
and she is the direct supervisor of the police department. She has heard you.
Okay,
And
Thank
so I would suggest that you make some sort of an appointment with Ms. Holly or with one of her designees, and she will help you,
I will reach out to you. Thank you.
help you to understand what you need to do next.
Thank you.
But we're listening to you, but
Yep.
we can't respond.
Like
to
I
you.
said, it's my first time here.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. I've been
Thank
here
you.
for 5 years. Bye. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Brandon Kontowski. Welcome, Brandon. Name and address for the record.
Brandon Kentowski. I live on Oak Lawn. That was my neighbor I've been telling y'all about. There's been a lot of issues here. Saying my house is a drug house. You can ask all my friends. I stopped doing drugs a while back. Saying how I harassed their grandchildren. That's a serious offense. I do not harass children. And for her to say that, the chief of police already knows. He's seen the post online when they doxed me and put my name out there and incited violence against me. Now I got city workers that have come down the street when I take out I got to film everybody and every conversation because it's getting a little out of hand. And I'm upset just like Rashard Loftus. Things need to change. This city has a lot of problems already. And it's going to have a lot more legal problems from me and some lawyers. So the chief of police ain't been doing his job. I have it all recorded. Every time I come outside my door, I got to record because I get flipped off and harassed and called names and said, F my mother. You know, I got it all recorded. So no matter what she says or whatever, it's all lies and it's going to be proven. I want it to be proven and I want her to go to jail for it. And I've done told the chief of police that and everything and nothing's happened. They got one trespassing ticket, which I've showed them dozens of times where they come on my yard just to mow their grass and he's doing it on purpose. You know, I'm working with Chief Merriman on trying to get the email out to finish all the rusted nails and stuff like that. Man, I can't believe she just came up here and lied. That's why I record her. Okay. I got to record everybody. And now the chief of police want to gaslight me online on Facebook. Keep talking, chief. You're digging yourself a hole. Everybody already is
Mr.
talking
Kentowski.
against you. Look, he don't even want to listen.
Mr. Kent, I know.
Y'all see this?
Mr. Kentowski.
He want to listen.
Mr.
Hey.
Hey.
So I'm just
Thank
saying.
you. Thank you, ma'am. I
I'm
got it.
just saying. I'm upset like
Kentowski.
everybody else.
You-
I'm upset
you're
like
approaching-
everybody else. I know it.
You are addressing
The council.
5 individuals.
Yes, sir.
Look forward. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I just wanted to see if he was paying attention, and he ain't. That's sad. That is very sad. There's a lot more officers that ain't doing their job, and I got it on tape that they don't even know what the law is. Just like her, she said that this ain't right. The cops done told her. I got it on video telling her he could stand in the street in front of your house and film. I mean, shit. I have to film because people are lying, saying I'm harassing their grandchildren. saying I got the drug house when I got them on video smoking weed on their porch and I can
Thank you,
smell it
Ms.
from my
Cantos.
house.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Cantos.
I came here to talk about some city business, but then on Friday night, all that changed. My wife, my daughter, my son, my grandson, and my daughter's friends was eating dinner over at Texas Roadhouse. Well, Joseph Lowry and Sarah Lowry happened to be there. My wife goes in the bathroom. Sarah comes in, starts harassing my wife. My wife told her to get the fuck out of her face. She should have beat her ass. She go back to the table. By then, my son has left. And I'm really glad he did, because I've been bailing him out of jail, right? So Joseph and Sarah, instead of walking out of the restaurant, they decide to come all the way around the restaurant to my wife's table, harassing again. They was told to get the fuck away from the table. They then proceed to go outside and wait on my wife and my family to come out, start videotaping like they usually do. Then made a Facebook Live calling my wife trash, talking about my 4-year-old grandson, and I'm pissed the fuck off. That dude, his time is coming. I'm telling y'all right now, LMPD, Galveston County, y'all better do something. Randall Aragon, this your department. What the fuck you gonna do?
Mr. Loftus, Mr.
No, man,
Loftus,
I don't want to hear that.
I want you to look at me,
No.
address
I
me,
don't want to hear none of that,
address me.
because I'm pissed the fuck off.
I understand.
I done talked to Jack Rhodey, Kayla Allen, Randall Aragon, Chief Wagner, Tech City PD, and they ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Somebody gonna get hurt around here, and then they gonna want to arrest the person that's doing the hurting. I'm fucking sick of that shit, all right?
Yes, sir.
Something better get done around this motherfucker.
My complaint is my brother's wife was sick and I picked my brother up at Sims Elementary School right there in South Acres on Vaucher and 1765. I made a right, came all the way down, passed up Jack in the Box, passed up Kelly's, made a right, still on 1765, made a left, still on 1765, headed toward 2004, and I was pulled over by a Marque police officer. And I think his badge number is 531. I think it's Officer Navarez or whatever. But the first thing he said is that I didn't put my blinker on at 100 feet. And I believe I've been driving. I'm 6 years old. I took driver's ed at Marque High School. I don't really know what 100 feet is, but I had my blinker on. And the next thing he asked me was for my license and registration, which I gave to him. Then he asked me, did I have any thing in my car, drugs, bomb, explosive guns. I've never shot a gun in my life. Never packed a knife in my life. Yes, I've got a pass. I've been in prison. I've been on drugs, but been clean and sober 4 years. My brother's been clean 17 years. So I told him, no, there's nothing in the car. Then he asked me if he could search my car. Now my car been searched 6 times. Every area in the Marque, Tech City, there's drugs everywhere. So when you tell me I'm in a drug area, and gas is $2.29 over here, but it's $2.69 over somewhere else, I'm gonna go to the cheapest gas. I don't care if it's in the drug area. I'm gonna get my gas. And so when you tell me that I put my blinker on, but then the next thing you tell me, you say, well, I just followed you. You just came from a hotel talking to a prostitute in a red shirt. I say, no, sir. I just picked my brother up. He still got his work badge on. I just got off of work. And we came straight down 1765, going toward 2004. Well, where are you going? I say, we just riding and talking because his wife is sick and I picked him up from work. So he told me, if you just tell me that you was leaving the motel, it'll go easy on you. All of a sudden, 2 more Marque police come up for a 6-year-old man and a 61-year-old brother. And the guy tell me, he say, well, why you stop you? I smell marijuana in the car. I say, no, we clean and sober. I say, we're taxpayers. And next thing you know, he said, okay. So me and one of the officers, I don't know if it was a supervisor, we got to talking. And the guy that pulled me over, he said, yeah, you just left the motel because you was driving a gray Nissan. And then his partner, the second officer said, no, he wasn't driving Nissan. I say, sir, I'm driving a Pontiac Grand Am. And then the other officer said, man, you fumbled. So they let me go. They gave me a warning. But my thing is something needs to be done about this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Former employee of ours. Name and address for the record, please. Make sure, Joseph, before, never mind. Got it. Thank you.
Mayor, City Councilman. My name is Joseph Mose. I live in Marque, Texas. My address is 836 Howe, apartment 2. I'm here to file a complaint about an officer, same officer that the brother's talking about, badge 531. This officer done stopped me 3 times. The first time he stopped me, I was leaving my apartment on Howe. I came to the stop sign on Cedar. I had my signal lights on, turning right. He pulled me over, told me I didn't put my signal on. I didn't argue with him. So he let me go. I gave him my driver's license and my gun license. Second time he stopped me, I was on my way over here to file a complaint on him like I'm doing now. He stopped me right here on Bayou, said about my license plate, had me to put down my back window and asked me where I'm going. I think you can go anywhere you want to go here in the United States. But then the third time he stopped me, I'm coming from a funeral in Hitchcock. Stopped over here at the cleaners, got my suit out the cleaners for me to go to church. I was on Bell Drive, my lodge. I'm a Mason. My lodge is on Bell Drive. I was leaving Bell Drive, taking a right. He was coming down 517. He whipped around when he saw my car, pulled me over. I gave him my gun license, my driver's license. He told me he smelled marijuana coming out my car, pulled me out my car, handcuffed me, called for backup. Backup came, which all officers is not bad. I want to make that statement. So then he came and said, I'm new here. He didn't know what was going on. The officer searched my car, went in my trunk, took my suit, balled it up, and threw it back in the car. This officer needs to be fired. You know, I researched and found out he was fired from Texas City. So somebody is not doing the right background check, you know, and whatever repercussions that comes with it, I'm ready for it because this needs to be stopped. This man needs to be stopped. I just want to say he's a bully with a badge. And Mayor Bell, I'm well known in the community.
Yes.
Just about everybody in here know me. I'm a man of my word. If I would have did whatever he said did, I would have went on and paid the ticket. I went to court. The DA threw it out after they saw.
Finish that sentence and then we move on. After they saw,
Yeah, after they saw, they reviewed
okay,
the dash cam,
okay.
and the DA threw it out of court.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Joseph. Welcome.
I'm here again. Officer Narvaez is dirty and he needs to go. I've spoken with Chief. First of all, I have 31 years of law enforcement. 27 came from federal law enforcement. And the first thing we were taught when I went to that academy in Georgia is to be fair and firm with all people. Treat all people equal. I'm at the credit union, I'm gonna say it again, getting money out of the ATM machine on Oak Street for my son. My son followed me. Officer Narvaez had to be watching, and he pulled us over, and he asked, what were you doing at that credit union for so long? I told him, none of your business. You saw I was at the ATM machine. So he said, my son made a wide right turn off of Oak in 1765, and he didn't. And he was very nasty, very, very nasty. And I said, you can arrest me, but I'm gonna file a lawsuit because I know the law. I was in law enforcement for 31 years, and this makes no sense. The other officer, I can't think of his name, white officer, very nice. And as the gentleman said, not all of Lamarque police are ugly, but it's 3 or 4 of them, and all of them are Hispanic, including the chief. And I have spoken with the chief twice. He told me, Tammy, we can arrest you for any traffic violation in the state of Texas. I said, even if it's wrong, we can arrest you for any. This came from Aragon's mouth. So as the CEO of Lamarque and the mayor and the city manager, I am asking you all to sit down and speak with the chief because you are his supervisor. Sit down and speak with Aragon because this needs to be fixed. I love policing. I want policing. I called Lamarque police last week at KB's Insurance because a guy came from around the building and he had stole all the copper out of his air conditioner. And Lamarque came and the guy was nice. But Chief Aragon and 3 of his goons, as I call them, and Narvaez is number 1, they need to come to Jesus meeting. I heard a lady behind me say she's not here for the chaos, she's for the city. But a city don't exist without its people. And you can't treat everybody like they're non-citizens. If a person has done their time in prison, and I've dealt with plenty of inmates who I've seen that come out who are respectful, good citizens of the law, and you cannot treat them like they're inmates. And even when they're inmates, you still have to treat them fair and firm. So these officers in Aragon, they need to straighten up or they need to go.
How you doing, Carl Beard? I won't give my address. The previous concerns I gave you about actually getting packages, and more recently, somebody messed with the utilities at my house. But I come here today to talk about the police department. Pretty much every Thursday and Friday nights, I actually get Facebook inboxes of people who've been arrested from an officer they describe as DWI door. I hate to use that racial appetite, being I'm a black male, and some of us are very what's the word for it? We're very aware of how certain stereotypical things can be used, but that's what the public is called. This officer, from one report that I actually got, a young lady was exiting in the fish place. She walked up behind her car and you immediately suspected her for DWI. You did your field sobriety test. You actually arrested her. She went over to Galveston County Jail. She was no PC'd out. Another arrest out of RJ's up there on the freeway. This guy was actually sitting in his car. You instructed him to get out of his car. You did another field sobriety test. He ended up going to jail for suspicion of DWI. He was no probable cause out. Another young lady was pulled over on 1765 for failure in a signal. You initiated a search on her car. At that time, you got a prescription drug and you told her that it was actually in the wrong box. She went over to Galveston County Police Department. She was no probable cause out. And a lot of other similar cases of no PCs. I know we've asked for certain information at times. People have come to council and asked for certain numbers showing us actual demographics of your mayors. I have to say Safe City Initiative, like the demographics of arrests and the actual impact on the community. We've yet to actually get into those numbers. But I truly believe through my experience with the Marque Police Department that is being terribly mismanaged. During your recent budget cycle, you determined that public safety was terribly mismanaged. With that, I'm asking that the city council, more so the city manager, explore actually getting us a new police chief. I believe the time has came. We can no longer justify the expense of this police chief. We can no longer justify the retaliatory nature of a climate of we choose who to prosecute versus not prosecute. We no longer can allow a city official to run rampant in the community, harassing at will, and it not be justified. We need answers. Actually, we need results. It's time to let them go. Him and the upper command staff. Tonight, just listening to all the citizens' concerns, How can we justify keeping somebody who terribly mismanages the department? At Burger King, if you order too many buns from the supplier and not enough beef patties, I'm more than sure your general manager will fire you. Why aren't we doing the same?
Haley Winkleman.
Hello, Ms. Winkleman.
Hi. It's kind of ironic that it's Cybersecurity Month. I would like an update on that Zoom hack where we were all exposed to that anti-Semitic pornography. The Office of the Chief of Police directs, plans, coordinates, and evaluates all activities of the department, as well as oversees command level functions for the agencies. This includes, but is not limited to, all police operations in the city, budgeting, policies and procedures, research studies, and methodology for deploying police assets in the most effective way as we work to address the quality of life issues in our community. That's from the City of Texas City website, because our website is not working again. But let's do a little review of our chief of police. He's been fired for sexual harassment and resigned during a validated ethics complaint. He lied on his application to get the job. The budget, that's out the window. He didn't even apply things to the proper line and is certainly not in compliance with acceptable budgeting standards. Ethics? Oh, those are gone too. Lost with the lie on the application and the offer for security services better than our police department can provide to Amazon. Worse, though, is the knowledge that while my friends and neighbors are speaking out on social media, texting me, telling literally anyone who will listen that we have major problems with the treatment of certain groups and in certain demographical areas, this community doesn't have a chief that we can depend on to have the ethics and morals needed to correct the situation. He says one thing and does another. The community policing, that's crap. It doesn't work to get up here and pat yourself on the back, but you won't even say your department treats people equally. Why won't you say that? Because it doesn't. And lastly, Chief Aragon also waives standards so someone with multiple DUIs and someone who's been to prison can be on the Citizens Police Academy. Our Citizens Police Academy has forever been tarnished by that. And we have a police chief who lied on his application to get a position of power, which begs the question, should he even be here in the first place? Tonight, we're going to hear from quite a few people, and we've heard from them weeks after weeks after weeks. Something has to change. The problem with our police department starts at the top. It is time for new leadership and a new morale within our department regarding the treatment of citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Winkleman.